Afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Play action. It's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him to get it done?
And he's going to go down again. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Now the Cleveland offense ready to go to work behind the three-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson. In his second season now as a Brown, number 7 overall.
Just 6 games played for Watson in his debut season with the Browns, which really limited how much he could step into the franchise quarterback role for the team. But he gets a full slate to do so this season. Remember, his last year at Houston, over 4,800 yards. They expect excellence from him.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. A guy coming off his best season as a pro. Here's Nick Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now it's Watson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. But Deshaun Watson, and when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. Last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver. I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another 1st there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 17. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Here's Watson. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
It's caught. Cooper. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, When they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On third down, Jackson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll start by running the option to the right. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
David Ojabo.
He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Everyone knew David Ojabo was a first-round talent who had been injured in the run-up to the draft and would miss most, if not all, of his rookie season. Baltimore saw a brief flash with a sack and a forced fumble in the final week. Excited to see him across a full season now.
And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start by running the option to the right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Jackson. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 24-yard line. A good pickup there, 22.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson.
And we're complete to Crochet.
2nd catch for him today, and they'll wind up a first down.
You know, when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
From the gun, Jackson. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Tucker's kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Watson.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Watson now going to run the option right. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. This is fielded at the 27. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and a yard.
Now it's Jackson.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Now 2nd and 5.
Here's Jackson.
Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Again, Jackson. Flush to his right. The quick feet by Jackson.
And they will have a first down as they are definitely in field goal range now down at the 20-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Well, no sooner did the teams get to the locker rooms, and they're running right back out. Halftime over, third quarter, ready to go.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Second and 10.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 3rd and 6.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
David Ojabo
able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down. Jackson now.
And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Jackson.
He's going to have the first down and more than that. And he will have the Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Dobbins with a typical strong run, and 3 years in, you still feel like you haven't seen all he can be as a pro. Injuries wiped out 2021 and part of 2022. But when he's out there and healthy, he can be electric.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9.
To throw is Jackson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Tucker's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Watson now to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete.
Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Watson. He's going to look deep for more. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
A big play that time for Cleveland. 49 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
York able to send this one through.
And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9.
So, CD, maybe put a pin in that one as this game progresses. It's a field goal that gets him the lead here in the 3rd, but, boy, you hate settling for 3 when you're that close to the goal line.
Well, it certainly pains me to say it, but I do think it was the right call. Now, if they lose, you and I both know that'd be one of the things that gets second-guessed. Why didn't you go for it on 4th and goal? But I know the mindset was take the points, get the lead. And, by the way, if they went for it and got stuffed, they'd second-guess that, too.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. On the return is Duvernay. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He finds his target, Beckham. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens 1st down as he'll get this up to the 39.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the 1st.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath, If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
A third quarter now, and a one-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
Jackson. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Here's Jackson to throw. Incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. A handoff running left is Dobbins.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. On 3rd down, Jackson.
Room to maneuver at the 35.
And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, and we watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Throwing is Jackson.
He finds Bateman over the middle.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 5-yard line.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2.
Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Cleveland offense making their way out.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Watson on first down.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's Watson.
He's got the connection to Moore.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
44 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the 50, it's Watson.
And that is dropped. Oh, my goodness. That could have been a game changer, but he could not hang on.
Oh, man. Late in the tight ball game, every play so critical. You feel like you've got to find a way to come up with that football. That was put in a great spot, but it just didn't want to stick in his hands. That's a big letdown.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, we've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 61 yards.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on 3rd down.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run here with Edwards. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Dobbins going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Jackson to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So now it's Watson and the Browns.
Down by 8. A little under a minute 50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Watson to throw. Pass complete to Chubb.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Watson.
And this is caught. He hits more. And out across midfield down to the 45.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The clock stopped. 50 seconds to play. 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4th down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. To throw, Watson. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 29-yard line.
Hey, you got your 1st down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Watson. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Watson looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
And the crowd a major factor now. Here's 3rd down.
Watson now to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. and they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.